What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fozzie, and today we're going to be taking a look at another FIFA 21 custom tactics video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 4-3-3 second variant. So you actually get a center defensive mid in this variant. This is a team we were running for Foot Champs. I was planning to bring a 4-5-1 custom tactics video, but wasn't getting on that well with it in Foot Champions. I ended up actually being 7-7, which is horrific for me. I switched to the 4-3-3. We went on the 10-win streak of 17-7. Obviously that's goal 2 locked in. It was like, okay, I'll try and play. Elite was on the cards if I won out. Lost the next game, and then just stopped there. So we finished goal 2 running these tactics, and this was a team. Ball talent is not good, but apart from that, this team is fantastic. Dalot as a centre back is insane. Before we jump into the tactics, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, rate, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And without any further ado, let's look at the 4-3-3 second variant tactics. So on defense, we're playing balanced, and we have a 6th width and a 7 depth. I've been playing around with 9 and 10 depth. Through balls are abusive right now. I mean, this year through balls have been big. Right now it seems even bigger than usual. People are having to opt to use fullbacks and centre backs, as you see with me running Dalot, because you just need that pace. So I had been running 9-10 depth. It meant you had to win the game like 7-6, 6-5. Like, it was an insane game. So bring it down to 7 means you still have that press, but you're not as heavily exposed. And then the offense is pretty standard at the minute. 6 width, 6 players in box, 3 corners of free kicks. That is pretty standard across the board. I'm finding 6 width seems to be the best unless you're playing a narrow formation, in which case obviously you need to drastically spread it. But this worked well. The team shape held up quite nicely, and the tactics are a little bit more unique than usual, especially for the midfielder. So keeper is Handanovic, just running full balanced on that. I think because I'm running the higher depth, you could have him on sweeper keeper, but chips are that big this year with such a high depth and so much room and time for someone to move and make a chip shot. You want them balanced. Centre back side you can expect, or stay back attack normal, just full default. My fullbacks are slightly different. So on the left side we have stay back while attacking and overlap, and on the right side we have stay back and mix. So I'd say your fullback who's better getting forward, you run overlap, and the other one you run on mixed. I've said a few times in videos this year, I think having at least one element of difference on each side of the pitch just allows a bit of creativity and diversity in your attack. So obviously you will know yourself that this side does this and this side does the other, but if you're playing a different opponent every game, they're not going to know that. So if you learn that on your right hand side, for example, they're going to be cutting inside a bit more, on your left hand side they're always going to be making a run. It might take till the second half for someone to clock on that is what's happening. So that variant runs quite well. I previously tested with 1 on balance, but I find this formation I end up having the 2 center mids starting forward, which you'll see in a second. So having stay back while attacking on is actually quite good, and it pains me because I love attacking fullbacks this year and in general, but it makes this formation click, so it has to be done. Bruno Guimaraes is a CDM. We're running man mark, stay back while attacking, and cover center. I know it's pretty standard. I mean, a lot of people will run balanced defensive behavior, maybe cut passing lanes. The thing with man mark this year is it helps take a player out of the game. So maybe like a 4-2-3-1 central cam, having him a man mark literally just takes that player out. So people often use Neymar as a central cam. Bruno Guimaraes, for example, will constantly track him round and around the pitch and helps prevent the through ball runs by that one player. Now, the centre mids are key in this system, as you can see. I'm not running a traditional box to box on my right side here. And he's on get forward and get into the box to cross, but he also has conservative interceptions on. This is something I was toying with this week, and I found it helps preserve the team shape for your centre mid. Now, if you're on the formation that only has centre mids, conservative interceptions is actually good. It helps him almost play more like a defensive midfielder. But in this case, he's getting forward, he's getting into the box, but I also don't want him to be like, when he is in position, I don't want him to be getting dragged out too much. So conservative interceptions work quite well on Mkhitaryan, and Dybala is on just get forward. Now, you might be thinking Dybala is more attacking, better in the box. Why is he not in get into the box for cross? And this is, in the past I used to run both these guys and get into the box, and what you'll find is they'll just make sometimes they make a fantastic run in for a cross, and sometimes they just make a blind dart and run that you can't even get a pass into them for. So Dybala, he's on get forward, but he will be happy to pick the ball up on the edge of the box. He can score from the edge of the box with a finesse shot, and he can work his way into the box. As Mkhitaryan is, because he's a bit slower, but if he gets, basically he can carry that run into the box, and if you can pass into his stride while he's going into the box, he can also head the ball. It just works. It works wonders. And now the wingers are something I've toyed around with a bit this week. Something different. So they're both on stay forward, and they're both on cut inside and come short. Now, come short is alternative to getting behind. I used to run my forwards like this, like cut inside and getting behind and stay forward. I've been running come short. Both are on this, and what I will say is this week I'm going to test having one of them on getting behind and one come short, just to offer that diversity I was talking about. But I was trying to call about my weekend league, so I needed just as much consistency as possible. I'd say my issue with the 4-3-3 in the past was that the player would just be too wide. I know for 3 balls, maybe if you're playing a lower elo, you can sort of bang a ball at the pitch and get away with it, but they're sometimes not involved with the play as much as possible. So when you have them cut inside, obviously they're going to drop in closer to the striker, closer to the centre mids, or darting forward. And in the front door and come short too, it means that rather than them just standing out there in isolation and waiting to make a dart and run through, they're actually going to come and get involved in the play. And with how good like tiki taka and like L1 triangle or L1A or L1X passes are this year, you can do little triangle passes and make them go and runs. And then finally, the striker is stay central and get in behind. So obviously I would have had 3 of them on getting behind, and I found this meant that the space my wingers were getting in was fantastic. Like, people are playing, say, like 5 at the back or 3 at the back a lot right now, so that means Neymar is basically occupied by these 3 defenders, but because fullbacks are going forward and these wingers are on stay forward, and then like they just occupy that space. There's like a square or a triangle space on the pitch when those wing backs go forward. Politano and El Shaarawy were just constantly in that space for me. You'd make a big dart and run forward for them, and I end up in a 3-on-3, and then my attacking centre mids are on get forward are faster than their centre defensive midfielder. So I end up in a 3-on-3. Their fullbacks are way behind me, can't catch me, and they're relying on like their defensive midfielders to beat my centre mids to get forward. So all in all, it was a really good set of tactics. I actually plan on running them most this week, and we'll give a full stab at weekend league with them. And obviously, if I feel the tactics need to adjust slightly, I will adjust them. But that may mean I'm not too sure what next week's tactics is going to be. Obviously, I'm constantly trying new tactics, but at times it plagues me. I can't get as far as in weekend league because I'm constantly trying new tactics. So you may start to see a circulation as we come up the team this season. Obviously, I haven't hit elite this year. I want to hit elite, and hitting it in team of the season would be the best time in my opinion. So you may start to see, rather than constant different formations, maybe you'll see a recycle of a couple of formations that are reliable, get me more wins than I go back to, and I'll just offer updated versions of them. Obviously this is a weekly series, a lot changes each week in FIFA, so I don't want to be doing like 5-2-1-2 every single week, but maybe you'll get that once a month, that kind of thing, or a formation that's working maybe once a month. So that's that, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, as I said, leave a like rating. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully you can use this tactics, get some extra wins and rivals, extra couple wins and champs. Let me know in the comments how you get on with it and what sort of tactics you'd like to see in the future. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye and thanks for watching.